Geronimo Domino, Ominofo, Ominoro. When I tuck a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. Devin Haney, what does he have to say about Brian Norman Jr. now after a knockout of the year, sensational, dominant performance? What do the Haneys have to say now? That is what I will talk about in today's video. Buckle up. Make sure you guys check out my first video. Brian Norman had a crazy knockout in Japan, right? And now he's getting to a new territory where he's going into people's backyards and doing them greasy. He did it to Santillan in San Diego, and then now he goes to Japan and absolutely flatlines and demolishes the Japanese fighter. Make sure you guys subscribe, throw a like on the video, hit the bell icon so you do not miss a thing. Jin Sasaki, look on your screen. You will see he got leveled. Now, just an update for people who are concerned, because we're talking this was a scary knockout, right? And he was stretchered out and carted out in a gurney. It took a very long time for the officials to get him up after the knockout. He was asleep, right? And there is an update from Carl Moretti of Top Rank, who was there, and the guy Jin Sasaki, he seemed to be okay. He went as a precautionary measure and went to the hospital. He has since been released, and that is a good sign, you know, because they run, I'm sure, tests and CAT scans and things like that. So great news. We definitely don't want any casualties from the sport of boxing. Yes, it's a fight, but you want to see people be able to go back to their families. Now, Brian Norman, again, praises to him and his performance. What I liked is he seemed very calm. Like, I don't know. Obviously, the knockout was great, right? But what really stood out to me was how calm he was. He was very calm. He was very composed, and he was like doing some catch and shoot stuff. He was hooking in, I want to say, round 3, vicious body shots, right? So let's take it to the Devin Haney side of things. And this is what I love about my channel, because it separates the boys from the men. We bringing them boys to men. How them boys gonna win? This is grown man B.I. Get you wrote in the triage, E.I.Ch. Your reach ain't long enough, Dunny, right? This is where I really get to get off, and you as fans get to see my greatness. The best in the business, and it's not even close, right? I tell you all the time, a lot of low quality content in the space of boxing. So we're going to see who's real and who ain't. The Haniac content creators, right? They conveniently omit very important details when it protects or pertains to Devin Haney. So your boy Ego don't do that. I flip it on you. I give you news you can use. Devin Haney, I posted about it on my social medias. Make sure you follow me. Links are in the description. Devin Haney, the other day, he was responding to a fan, and he basically said Brian Norman is trash. He's butt. He sucks. Blah, blah, blah. This is where your belittling of people comes to bite you, because now you look crazy. Days later, after you said he was horrible, right, and you went to Japan, I'm assuming to scout, maybe you're on vacation, I don't know. But days after you said he's trash and horrible, he puts up in boxing would be a posterizing slam dunk where he knocks out a ranked opponent who was undefeated viciously, right? And again, he's been the showstopper where he's going fighting ranked people like Santillan, who had a great win over Rocha, right? Going into people's backyards as a road warrior. And icing him, right? Devin Haney just said this man was horrible. So we don't believe you. You need more people. And this is where, like, the Haneys and people like them, this is where it comes to bite you, because you start saying stuff and then now you kind of look crazy. Notice the stuff Boxingego says. I don't ever look crazy. I say it, people agree with it or don't agree with it, but then over time, it's usually proven right? I'm not trashing fighters and saying, oh, this person is trash, and then the next day or 2 days later, the person looks great, dominant, and has a posterizing knockout of the year. But that's the Haneys for you, and the Haney content creators. Now the pressure is on. I think the Haneyacks thought Jaron Boots Ennis moving up to 154 would protect Devin Haney. Like, oh, cool, Devin's moving up, and he announced himself at 147 now after Boots moved up. So I think they're like, whew, that was close, because Boots would be a very dangerous fight for Devin Haney. But now you still have a monster in the division in Brian Norman. So I'm very curious to see if the energy is kept the same from the Haney content creators, from the Haneys themselves, like Bill Haney. Remember, Bill Haney was in New York and he was like, I'm looking for Tio Fimo. I've been looking for you, blah, blah, blah. Tio's in Miami or Florida or whatever. Why are you in New York looking for him? It makes no sense, right? Now, fast forward to the future, let's see if they're looking for Brian Norman, who just had a sensational knockout. Because here's the kicker. Devin Haney struggled oh so much with Ryan Garcia's left hook, right? If Ryan Garcia, who didn't even look like he was fully trained, didn't even look like he was in full fight shape, right, was acting like a weirdo in the buildup of the fight, missed weight, so who knows how disciplined he was being. Later comes back, said he was drinking every day, hitting the club, partying, staying up late, looking disheveled, right? He feigned like he was drinking beer on the weigh-in scale, doing all this weird stuff. If his left hook is crucifying you, then best believe if Brian Norman catches you with his left hook, that would be catastrophic, right? And Devin Haney, we've never seen him with a knockout artist with the crazy left hook since the Ryan Garcia fight. He's only come back and fought Jose Ramirez, who most people think is kind of past it, right? So he couldn't get anything off offensively. Every Brian Norman fight that I've seen, there's an offense. He fought the Derek Cuevas or whatever, and that was an action fight, knocked him out. Santillan, now Jin Sasaki. And, you can say, oh, these guys aren't Devin Haney. I mean, show us and make the fight. It's just that simple. Less to talk about. Push for the fight if that's what you feel. I feel like this new generation, fighters, content creators, a lot of jaw jacking. It ain't even got to be all that. If you like it and it's a great fight, push for the fight. Don't tell me. I'm from an era where it's like, show me. I don't want to talk about it. If Devin believes he could whoop Brian Norman and he's trash, show me. It's that simple. Brian Norman thinks he could beat Devin Haney. Show me. Make the fight. No more, no less. That's why I believe honesty is the best policy, and it just pays to keep it real, because you come across as a hater when you do what Haney did and say like, oh, this guy's horrible, he's trash. And then days later, all the fans are on his jock like, ooh, that was a crazy knockout. Good job, Brian Norman. And then you had content creators, Haney had content creators, and Devin Haney saying that Brian Norman wasn't that and this and that. Again, if you feel you could beat him, show us. It's that simple. Now, Devin's kryptonite appears to be the left hook. We've seen that in the Ryan Garcia fight. And guess what? Brian Norman had a crazy knockout, as I've told you throughout this video, versus Jin Sasaki with the left hook. But now let's take a look. Now, he kind of stabbed to the body. Brilliant move by Norman. Went low with the left hand to throw the opponent off, and then he came up top with the left hook. He forced Sasaki to bend down and embrace for the low shot, and then he came up high. Broner got with the same thing when he fought Maidana. And then look, the left hook swipes him. BAM! And he's on his way down. Tim Burr caught him with the nasty left hook. Caught him out of position with the kind of, I call it a decoy punch, right? Stab to the body. So now they're trying to protect low. Brian, he was throwing crazy hard body shots as well. And then when you get him out of position like that, then you come up top. Brilliant execution and setup. You see Jin Sasaki, he's out of there, completely knocked out. So if Ryan Garcia is clipping Devin Haney with the left hook and he didn't even seem like he trained hard, then best believe Brian Norman too can hurt Devin Haney. So I think it'll be a great fight. Make the fight.